We've all had those days. You begin the day mindlessly doom scrolling social media. You stumble towards the kitchen to get your favorite breakfast, donuts. You settle in front of your computer hoping to tackle your workload, but instead your cursor gives you a blank stare into your soul. So you tell yourself you're not feeling inspired, you're too tired, you'll do it later, and you don't have enough time. You resort to your go-to strategy, scroll through Twitter, online shopping, Instagram, Netflix. Oh yeah, and eat another donut. You do anything to distract yourself from the discomfort of tackling the challenges in front of you. At the end of the day, you feel like because you didn't get anything done, so you go to bed feeling drained. But what would your life look like if you were taking consistent action towards your goals? You wake up to the sound of the alarm and spring out of bed. You start your day with a run, followed by a cold shower. Meditate to clear your mind, and get to work. With a clear and focused mind, you dive into your work with a well-defined list of priorities that align with your long-term goals. You're able to concentrate for long periods of time, and as the day progresses, you conquer each task on your list. At the end of the day, you feel accomplished and you're one step closer towards your bigger goals. So how do you show up to be the best version of yourself every single day? Whether it's in business, health and exercise, sports, or creativity, I would argue that the key to achieving your goals in any of these areas comes down to two things: self-discipline and building healthy habits. Jim Rohn put it really well. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. Discipline isn't taking action for just one day or just 1 week. It's taking consistent action for years at a time. If you look at any of the people who are considered great, Kobe Bryant, Steve Jobs, Bob Dylan, what's the one thing all of these people have in common? They put thousands of hours into their craft on a consistent basis. And these were the people who actually changed the world in what they did. Today, I want to share with you the tips that have helped me stop procrastinating, build self-discipline, and achieve my goals. So let's dive in. So I used to run around like a chicken with my head cut off, doing random things throughout the day, like checking email, cleaning my room, and I actually felt productive, but I wasn't actually getting anything done. And this is an issue that I feel like a lot of people have. You don't have your day or your week structured. Even a shitty plan is better than no plan at all. I mean, discipline without a plan is like being a monk.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
I just use a to-do list and a calendar. I write my to-do list out in the morning, and I use Google Calendar to schedule meetings and block time slots where I know I want to work on a specific task, and I make sure those tasks are geared towards my goals. There was a study at the University of California that found that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. Have you ever heard of SMART goals? Specific, measurable, actionable, reasonable, and time-bound. That shit actually works. Making your goals and tasks as specific as possible will really give you a clear idea of what you need to get done, which lowers the resistance of you doing them. One thing that's been really important for me is making these goals time-bound. I mean, I set deadlines, and I'll even set deadlines within deadlines so that I can meet the final deadline. The only problem with deadlines is that they have the word dead in them. Having a plan doesn't mean having it all figured out for the next 20 years. It's simply having a goal and a rough idea of how you're going to get to those goals. Okay, on to tip 2. So Cal Newport wrote a book called Deep Work, where he explains that focusing for long extended periods of time on one subject is the best and most efficient way to produce the work that you're most capable of and also learn hard things quicker. So deep work sessions are by far when I've made the most progress in my own projects. But it's so easy to get distracted in the modern day world with technology, the internet, social media, all of these things grabbing for your attention. How do you actually resist these distractions? There's really two types of distractions. We have external and we have internal. External is distractions coming from the outside world to you. This is things like people calling you, getting text messages, coworkers coming into your office, or anything that just disrupts you from your work. These are much easier to prevent. Silence your cell phone, close your Google tabs, eliminate all of that shit, that is not allowing you to focus at the job at hand. What's a little bit more complicated is internal distractions. Our brains haven't evolved much since being hunters and gatherers. We are motivated by freedom from discomfort. If you're walking on a hot pavement or your hand is on a hot stove, what do? You move your hand out of the way or you run away from the hot pavement. But not all pain is bad. Sometimes pain is good and is necessary for you to develop and to grow. Take for instance, learning. Learning is tough. We literally have to rewire our brains in order to learn something. There are new neural connections being made when you learn something new. That's hard, it's difficult, it's challenging, and you have to put effort into it. You have to concentrate for a long time. And your brain will trick you into telling you that you're in pain. Typically when we're on our computer and we're accessible to our phones, we reach towards something that will give us a little dopamine boost. That's gonna be going through social media, eating some kind of sugary snack, or literally anything that has less pain than the act that you're doing. This is our unconscious way of boosting our dopamine levels. So when we resist from doing the hard things and go towards doing the comfortable things, that's really called procrastination. How do you actually control these things? There's two methods that I found have been helpful for me. The first is just being aware of them. Have that awareness that you're reaching for your phone because you're trying to remove this discomfort from your life. Okay, so the second thing is to start getting normalized to being out of your comfort zone. Do things that make you feel uncomfortable and you will get used to it. I promise. Go up and talk to that pretty girl. Go take a cold shower. Go do an acro yoga class. Go to a jujitsu class. After you build this muscle up, you can do anything and you won't feel uncomfortable anymore. It's amazing. One of my good friends has a saying, don't let your comfort zone kill you. That's enough with controlling your inner bitch. Let's move on to the most important tip. So I have struggled with overthinking a ton in my past, and only in the last year or so have I been able to break this habit because I realized that overthinking hasn't served me in any beneficial way. So Mark Manson has this principle called the just do something principle. People tend to think that you need motivation and inspiration to take action. The do something principle says that motivation, inspiration are actually just an endless loop, and you can start the loop at any point. Motivation and inspiration are really feelings that are kind of fleeting. They come and they go. But what's under your control is the action that you take. So by taking action, you actually create motivation and inspiration. So just do something, do anything. You can also use the 5-minute rule. This essentially tricks your brain into thinking the barrier to do something is lower than it actually is. Just tell yourself you're gonna start and do something for 5 minutes, try it out for 5 minutes, and I guarantee you it will be easier for a longer period of time. With that, we're moving on to the last and final tip, which is keep the momentum going. So once you start taking action, you're gonna start building up momentum. You're gonna start increasing your motivation, you'll increase your inspiration. Whether you're practicing an instrument, eating healthy, building a website, the smallest step will help you get this momentum, and the thing that you're doing actually becomes easier and easier and easier. So once that momentum starts building up and you do something over a long enough period of time, it actually turns into a habit. James Clear said in his book, Atomic Habits, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. When you align your goals with your habits, you will be unstoppable. That's a wrap for this video. The best part is all of this is under your control and it all comes down to you. So you got this, man. Go crush it, go kill it. I know you will, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.